You have bewitched me, body and soul.
I got to watch the movie again this morning. It's long been one that I go back to, so very excited to talk to you about it. I'd like to talk to you about the internet kind of hit like legacy that the film has found over the past 20 years.
Strange, because none of that existed when we made the film. The world felt a lot smaller at the time, and the idea of making a film that could be seen in the US was kind of mind-blowing. And now it's kind of this thing, this internet thing has spread it everywhere, and it's kind of extraordinary. And I still don't really understand it. But anyway, it's very nice. It's very gratifying.
Sure. But I want to start off with Charlotte Lucas, who, while we all love the Bennets and we all love Lizzie, Charlotte Lucas kind of became a touch point. She's considered almost like the ultimate millennial in an attitude because of her line,
"I'm 27 years old. I've no money and no prospects. I'm already a burden to my parents. And I'm frightened."
Like, that's really caught on. Are you aware of that?
I've been told that. Yeah, I've been told that, and it reminds me of of that scene being written. Deborah Margaret wrote the screenplay and did an amazing job. And then we asked Emma Thompson to help with a little bit of the dialogue. And I went round to her house, very nervous, with my little briefcase, and we walked up onto Hampstead Heath, onto a hill. And she said, "Sit down, take out your notebook and take notes." So as she improvised scenes, I wrote them down, and that was one of the scenes that she improvised on that hill on Hampstead Heath. And I remember her just coming out with those lines and me scribbling them down, and then her ending with, "Don't judge me, Lizzie, don't you dare judge me."
Don't judge me, Lizzie. Don't you dare judge me.
And almost crying at what she just miraculously. And so it's interesting that the very simple beginnings of that scene and how now it's sort of spread. And I think it's because it's true. There's a truth to it all.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely it. Like, I did go back to the book to try to remember what she said, and she does say in both versions, "I'm not a romantic," kind of comparing her perspective to Lizzie's. But it's interesting how Charlotte Lucas has kind of gotten a life on the internet, because I think, one, because it's considered a very bleak dating landscape on the internet, so I think a lot of women understand her practicality. Have you seen the birthday cakes? A lot of people put the whole thing on a birthday cake.
Wow! No, I did not know that. That's great. That's amazing. Bless her.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Are you aware of the frenzy that Darcy's hand flex still holds on just a generation of women?
I don't know about frenzy. I've seen it on the internet. Someone showed it to me on Instagram or something, and again, it's kind of the beginnings of that were very humble, and it was a day where we were running out of time, and the weather was crappy, and I knew I wanted to convey this sense in which our bodies are cleverer than our brains, and the electricity that moves between them, and him trying to kind of shake it off. I remember talking to Matthew about that, but all you're trying to do is tell the story as psychologically honestly as possible. And then it gets picked up, and that's really amazing. That's really kind of humbling and amazing.
Keira has pointed out that was kind of the first moment they actually touch, because he's helping her into the carriage.
Yeah.
So the carry through of that, was that a note that you gave to Matthew of like, what are your hands doing after this? Or is that something he just kind of did?
No, it's something I was very specific about and said, I want this to be happening. And I had it, I don't know if I had it storyboarded, but I certainly had it shortlisted and kind of had figured out. I've always been fascinated by, as I say, this idea that our intelligence is that we have different types of intelligence, and that our bodies have a natural intelligence that we sometimes fight against. And and this idea that hands can often convey what we're unable to say or even acknowledge.
Oh, I love that. I mean, I think that makes sense, especially for these two characters who are so in their own heads and kind of use their intellect as almost a guard toward feeling messier emotions.
Absolutely. I think that's exactly the point of it.